right. Hey, hey, Saturday morning. It's that time of day. It is time. It is that time. Good morning and welcome to our podcast here. Dr. Joe Blake here with the 1 Point Podcast, where we help you get your financial point across. Got some great information to share with you today, as always. I've got some good stuff for you on this Resurrection weekend. And today, it's information we have is on mindful momentum, investing in your future self. And all this is about the economy of being a better person, being a better you, which helps your financial outlook as well. So sometimes, we'll realize it, but you got to start on you 5, 10, 15 years ago to get going today. If you didn't, the second best time to start on you is now. Start on who you are, who you want to be, where you want to go. So today's message is about that. Those good informations, okay? And I'll start with the PowerPoint and get the presentation here going. Hang tight. All right. So I had a scripture in mind, and it's Proverbs 23 and 7. It said, For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but in his heart, that's you. So the way you think is how you're going to be. So as we're thinking about mindfulness, momentum, investing in yourself, so what's in your heart, that's how you're going to be. So we want to make sure you think about what you're doing. My mom had this saying, so son, you need to think twice and calculate yourself. Got you, mama. And she would always say that, think twice and calculate your actions. Make sure what you're doing is what you're supposed to do. So with this, let's move to the next slide here. Next moment. So introduction to mindfulness, practice of consciously investing in yourself. You through intentional actions, you're making that step for a purpose. You're self-aware of what's going on. You're about your professional growth, which enables other individuals who align with you. So if you're on your purpose and somebody's on that purpose along with you, they're right beside you. You stay on your goal, and somebody that's along their goal too, they'll line up right along with you. You're both in your element, going down that road together. You're not alone, but you're with someone. Could be a significant other. This could be another running partner. That running partner is a friend in the streets. You're running, business partner. They put it that way, right? So business partner. So we have our Joe Blake III avatar here. He's going to give us a little background about the introduction to momentum. Okay, so let's hear him give us a little talk about this.
Hello, everyone. We often get caught in the daily grind, reacting to today's demands and forgetting to proactively shape tomorrow. But what if you could build a future you're genuinely excited about, one small, intentional step at a time? This is the essence of mindful momentum, investing in your future self. It's about making conscious choices today that compound into powerful results for who you want to become. It's not about grand, overwhelming gestures, but consistent, deliberate actions. Think of it as planting seeds daily for the harvest you desire. How do you start? Identify your future self. Who do you aspire to be in 6 months, a year, 5 years? What skills do they possess? What habits do they maintain? Micro actions, macro impact. Break down those aspirations into tiny, manageable daily or weekly actions. Want to be healthier? Start with a 10-minute walk. Want to learn a new skill? Dedicate 15 minutes to it each day. These aren't burdens, they're investments. Stay present, act future. Be fully engaged in the small step you're taking, understanding its connection to your bigger vision. This mindful presence fuels your momentum. Remember, your future self is a direct result of your present choices. Start investing wisely, one mindful moment at a time, and watch your momentum build. Your future self will thank you.
All right. So your future self is going to thank you for starting out that way. Now, sometimes it's hard if you're not thinking about your future self or what you need to do. Um, um, One of the things I did as I was going on in my life, I tend to look at life that way. I looked at the bigger picture, the longer picture, the bigger view. Um, it was like it innate in me. It's like I did that. I always looked at how I was doing things and how it was going to help me or um, help me relate to my mom or do something that's going to make my mother proud of me. So whenever I did something, that was the things I thought about it. So some of the things that made me kind of think through it was self awareness. I was always mindful, and I was in deep thought about something that I was going to do or didn't do. Joining the military. I joined the military. When I joined the military, I was already signed up in November of '83. So school had just started back in '83, and I just started the school started September. But that November of '83, I was already signed up to go into the Air Force, and I didn't go in until August of '84. So that's like 8 months beforehand. So I knew I had already made a choice and I already made a decision of what I was going to do with my life before I even graduated. Good thing I graduated. So I had to make sure I passed all my classes. But I already made that choice. I recognized what I wanted to do. I knew what I had to do for my personal growth, and I felt that the Air Force was the way I was going to get it done. Which, of course, now I look at it, yeah, it was. But I was aware. I said, okay, I got to something outside of Baltimore is going to help me get this done, and that was my self awareness. I was aware of, okay, I got to find a different way than these streets here in Baltimore. So then, now I use myself a lot. I know it's why is he talking about himself? Well, I'm my example. If you were sitting here next to me, I'd ask you, what was your example? So another one. So self awareness. So here, as it shows a picture of middle class Americans right now, what are they aware of right now? What's out there in the economy right now? So some of the things we see that the mortgages are high, jobs are like vanishing away, groceries is ridiculous, and we got bills. That's all we're aware of. All those things that are out there, and they're pressing on us, pulling on us. What we want to do is not, those are there, but you want to somewhat live in peace. You want to have that peaceful mindset, knowing that God's got it all under control, and you want to live in a peaceful environment. Think about the peaceful things that it brings to you, how peace is going to be there, and how peace is going to be. And then your world looks like this. Even though you're living in this world, your thoughts are taking you towards a peaceful world, and you're self-aware of, hey, this is where I'm going. When you're thinking on those things, it works out for you. You're thinking about being in a peaceful environment, it works out for you. And when I was in Baltimore, I was one way, but then I joined the military, where you get everybody you can go to war. But still, I thought I was a better environment by being that way. So having that self awareness, stress and anxiety. You see how a lot of things are going on right now. Well, this time too shall pass. This time too, right now, stressful, but this time too shall pass when you get in rough areas right now. So what do you do when it gets rough like this? What do you do? It's kind of like I think well, I'm not a rodeo person, but I know this happens, right? When it gets rough and you're riding that Bronco, what do? You buckle up and ride it out. You buckle up and you hold on to that thing, you ride it out. Now, I ain't do no rodeo before, but it looked like it on TV. So they riding it out. So reduce that stress, ride it out. Foster a state of calmness, be present, manage your reactions to stressors, You do whatever it is to do, relax with stressors. I like to get my jacuzzi in the backyard. So I'm back there jacuzziing it out, or I'm watching a comedy or something like that to kind of stress myself down a little bit. Laugh about things. Because life is a trip. It really is a trip. So sometimes you gotta be able to laugh at life, laugh at what's going on, because you can't in life. It ain't that serious. God always answers your prayers anyway. It ain't that serious. All right. Improve your focus and clarity. So what do you use to improve your focus? And drink water, drink electrolytes. I got some. What is this right here? This Gatorade. Like I drink a lot of water and stuff like that. Gatorade keeps you hydrated. Maybe you don't like Gatorade. Maybe you like something else. Whatever may keep you hydrated, keeps you focused, helps you prioritize things, help you make good decisions, creates your personal effectiveness, and whatever you need to eat, make sure you eat something. Sometimes people don't like to eat, man, but if you're low on your energy, draining on your body, and you're, oh, I can't get around, oh, because you ain't taking care of yourself. You gotta do that. Take care of you. You get medicines from the doctor. Now, some people don't. I don't want to take this medicine that the doctor gave me. The doctor's there for a reason. Take that medicine until you get your healing. You say, okay, Lord, I'm taking this medicine right now. I'm gonna take it just for because you made doctors. Until you reach your healing, until you get your healing. That's what it's there for. Doctors are here for a reason. God put all that stuff here until you get your healing. Right? So whatever it may be, maybe your faith's not there yet. Just do it, right? Until you get there. Okay, emotional resilience. Man, you got to have some of that emotional resilience. It helps you encourage and acknowledge your emotions without judgment. If you're scared, you're scared. If you're upset, you're upset. It's just an emotion. You just don't let that thing grab a hold of you, control control what you do. When I was working on my PhD, I got sick. I had to go to the doctor. Had illness, and but I had to keep going with my schooling. I got sick. Right after I got sick, I lost my mom. And mom had to go to heaven. And I was like, oh man, this is two things back to back on her brother. I didn't know how I could handle it. But I kept going. So sometimes you have those emotional things that happen in your life now. Not to say that something heavy like that's gonna happen to y'all, but I'm just sharing me, So but you gotta be able to grab hold of your emotions and not to grip you, because your emotions can grip you and then it just put you down. Emotions get you down here going because your emotions got you. Don't let your emotions do that to you. Don't let it do that to you, And grab hold of them and say, I got you, anger. I got you, depression. And then hold that thing there and say, you ain't going, they don't have you. You got to do it like that. Now, I do that. I can't help it, man. It's tired. I teach, man, hands and all that good stuff. All right, so got to be mindful of that. Then, understanding your future self, who you want to be. Who you want to be. There's a lot of books that we read. We read books like this one book here I got. It's called Seven Habits of the Learner. This is a wonderful book that I've read. 7 Habits of the Learner. There's another book that I have here. It's another book that I read. It's called Too Good to Great. Another book that I read here is called Mental Toughness to Success. Right. So I read all of these books. Why do I read these books? Because I want to be better. But at some point, you have to become a product of the books you read and the tapes you listen to. So that's understanding who you need to be in the future. All right, you have a purpose, you have a choice, you have things that influence your vision. Well, those are long-term aspirations, and you get to inform yourself with meaningful decisions, and it shapes your personal and professional life. But the books you read and the tapes, the CDs you listen to, you have to become a product of all those things to make it happen, to make your future self. And as you come into your future self, you got to do it. You got to do it. You can't just sit on there. Okay, I read this book. I read that book there. I read that one over there too. Are you doing it? Did you take what you read and put it into practice? Are you doing it? And if you can't say no, you ain't doing it. All right, you got to get a handle on it. All right. So here we got setting goals for mindful impact. Intent. Okay. All right. So set the goals. Value. Clarify what truly matters. Ensure you align your goals with what truly matters for you. Uh, then you have to create. Now, define. I have to define goals here. This is my Camp 10 method. I know I mentioned this to you before. You can go to my website, download the PDF document on that. It's only $1. Don't get the things on your buck. But define Camp 10 is clarity. Now, I mentioned that like SMART goals, that's too short. If you're developing goals for your life, for your future, you want something that's detailed, specific, and you can have an. It's like a grant. One of those Rand McNally maps. Rand McNally, you had that map, and you can map from this side of the country to the next. That's that Rand McNally. So you want goals that are clear, adaptable, measurable, practical, they're relevant, have ownership in time. You get feedback from it, motivation, and collaboration. Collaboration, you need some folks to help you. Sometimes you got mama over here reading the map, and you driving. Where I go? Where I go? Shit. Mama will tell you which way you got to turn. You made the wrong turn. And what you got to do? Okay. You know. So you need that collaboration side of it too. So all that's a part of Camp 10. All right. That's all that's part of Camp 10. Again, you can go to my website and get that piece. All right. Plan and create action plan. Outline detailed step. Right. Then you need to achieve your goals. You got to go. And not just steps. You have to have a model. Because those models helps you learn and create the areas and find out where you're not really learning, but it helps you recreate your learning, find the gaps in your learning. The steps only takes away your routine, but that model helps you recreate the learning, and find out where the gaps are missing, and you'll learn even more so. Adjust regularly. Look at your plan, see if it's working, see where you're progressing at. As I was finished, each time I got my bachelor's, my master's, and my doctorate, I had a list. I had classes there, and each time I went through a class, I lined it out. Went through a class, lined it out, and I was able to look at my progress and keep track of it. So, if you have something that you're doing like that, map it out and keep track of your progress. Because when you see it, each time you like line something out, you're progressing along your lines to achieve your goal. Like this year I have all the classes that I'm teaching for the year, and each week I line out the lessons for the 2 weeks. So I have 28 classes this whole year, and it's going to take me these. And sometimes the classes last 2 weeks, and I've already gone through certain ones and aligned through it, so I know I went through those classes. So I have this whole lesson for the whole year for this economy of being, and it just helps to know where you're going and how things are working out, so you can stay on the right track. Because if you don't, you're off track. Sometimes you may forget where you are, and then if you're developing things for other folks, it doesn't help them. So you got to have that regular look at it. So we're still in the first section, January to April. We're still in what's called the intentional investment area for this year. Next is going to be the value beyond tangibles, and the third part of the year is going to be about sustainable consumption. So we're mapping out this whole year, and this part up until April is about intentional investments. And being intentional about it is that mindful momentum, investing in your future self. All right, let's keep going. All right. Strategies for mindful investing in yourself. So you got to prioritize your lifelong learning, and lifelong learning is, in my case, I got the education, so I continue to learn that way. And actually, I teach because I teach. You learn just as much as you when you teach, you learn there too, because you're sharing with others. It reinforces what you gain. So you get yourself at church, or you can volunteer your time there and teach at a Bible study, teach at a school. There's always opportunity there. If you have at a local rec center, you can volunteer at the rec center or something like that, do some work there, help others learn as well. Give her your time, give talents and time. Because if you don't have the financial resources, you can give your talents and help others. So that's a way. Seek guidance from your mentors. If you have mentors or others that have influence in your life, seek them out. Another thing I did as I was building who I was, I found 5 folks that I thought were very, in my field or in my my realm that I felt was very powerful and were going someplace in life. I took them to lunch. I took them to lunch and I asked all five of them the same five questions to find out what their responses were. And I wanted to see what was the common denominator that helped them to be successful. And it was intriguing because I got different answers from all five of them, but I got the ones I got a common theme. What was helping me, and that same process I ended up using when I got my PhD, because I interviewed people at the three churches. So something I did in the very beginning, just for me, I ended up using later on down the road. So mindful strategy. So incorporate self care routines. Make sure you take care of yourself. Eat the right foods. Uh, don't over abuse don't food. Sometimes the food is good, man. Don't get me wrong. Fried chicken, I can throw down on fried chicken, but sometimes you gotta like push away from the fried chicken. Gotta push away from the cakes. Gotta push away. Because sometimes if you go overboard with it, you don't want to do that. You gotta be here for the grandbabies, because the grandbabies got to be able to come over and say, "All right, let's play," and you gotta play. And if you can't get down, if you have to like make a plan before you get down on the floor to get back up, something's up. You gotta say, "Okay, hold on. If I get down here, how am I gonna get back up?" You gotta think about it. All right, you gotta do some exercising, and then reflect on personal experiences. Reflect on your experiences, what you've done. Like, this year I'll be 60. Man, I tell you, that came like it just came, and now I'm 60, and I'm like, man, that came out of nowhere. I just said, where did that come from? I'm like, Joe, you'd be 60 this year, man. What have you done with your life? Where have you gone? Who have you influenced? What are you doing now? You're 60. So that's some serious reflection I'm going on right now. Serious reflection. So it's important. It is absolutely important that you look back, see what you're doing, and the influence and impact it may have on others. That's the important. So it's like I did that when I was 50, and that felt like it was yesterday. Time flies. It really does. All right, and we're gonna stop on this one right here, and finish it up next week. So the role of habits in creating momentum. So habits, yes, habits help because it's like a routine that you do. Understand how habits shape your actions and contribute to your growth. I have a habit waking up every morning. First thing I do is I'm in the Word. I'm reading the Bible, or sometimes I got my little device, or I'm listening to it. It depends, because sometimes when I'm listening, I read the book and I read it, and then sometimes reading I go with my thing and I read it. I listen to it. But either way, I'm hearing the Word and then getting understanding, and that way, the more times I hear it, I understand what God is telling me or saying to me about my purpose in life, what I'm doing, what I've done, and where I need to go. And I've read it I read it front to back on purpose 10 times from Genesis to Revelation on purpose. But in between there's probably more than that. But on purpose, I started and stopped, and so that allows me to. Now it's like the word is in me. So if someone's sharing with me, I can go to a scripture to help them out because it's already in me, and not just one that everybody else knows. It's ones that I read myself, and I go to those on my own because I'm familiar with the book. I know God's character. You can know the contents of the Bible, but if you don't know God's character for yourself, that's where the disconnect can come for you. So next week we're going to finish up on this lesson on mindful momentum, and we're going to continue on the role of habits. Now, habits create work in your life as well. So with that, whew, sometimes I get going. I get going. Because I get so excited, and I'm sorry if I talk too fast, man. But I was like, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about sharing, and it's like so good to me. I'm like, I'll go for it. So you might have to put it on replay. What did y'all say? Just put it on replay so you can hear it again, because I'm just excited about what God has. So here's a QR code. You scan that bad boy. And contribute to the The podcast here helps me keep things running and going. Well, more content, the more content I can get and provide for you that helps out maintain the systems that we have here in place. Uh, to just be able to provide more information to you in a different way as well. Also, this is the second book here, Joseph Building Financial Legacy. That is the second book in the trilogy. The first book is Financial Literacy. Literacy lasts a lifetime. Legacy lasts for generations. And yes, I'm on book number 3, which is Legend. That will complete the trilogy for the first 3 books. And so this is the second one. You go get that one. You can download it. This one, I believe you when you get it, um, when you see me, I'll sign it. If you get it from my website, then I can actually sign it before it's sent to you. But you get it, I'll sign it for you. And then lastly, we have the QR code for the app. The companion app goes along with both books. So in there, you'll have the different models that I have, my memory models to help you understand some of the principles that I share. 4 windows of success. It talks about which is the Cox model. Then it talks about uh, the rule of 72. It talks about that in there. Talks about the um, man, I got a mind blank. All of the different financial aspects that I share with my clients and everything is in that particular book. Whew. So with that, I want to say this has been great. I hope you got some more information. My son is moving some stuff from one place to another again. I talked to him a little earlier. He didn't realize the time changed. So he's in Georgia. He's like, Dad, it's gonna be at 1 o'clock. No, son, it's 2. The time changed. He missed that on that, but he likes being here. He likes sharing. He knows folks listen to us as well. So uh, he'll be here next week. My oldest boy, Joe Blake the third, and my other son is in Japan. Talked to that brother earlier. And then my baby girl, I gotta show some pictures because she's in a new place. So, but hey, I hope you gained some information from today. I hope I gave you some more insights into how to be more mindful on your momentum, where you want to go, where you want to be in the future. And this information you can use for yourself or share with others. That's the purpose of this. And understanding that this is a chance for you to make things better for yourself and your family. And I look forward to seeing you and hearing you next week. And as I always say, stay tuned, stay informed, and stay on point. We see you here next week. Have a great day.